Are you looking for the 4-person tents for all campers? In this video we will look at some of the 4-person tents for all campers. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Kazoo Outdoor Camping Tent. The Kazoo Outdoor Camping Tent is a spacious 4-person option that provides excellent protection from the rain as well as a full porch vestibule to keep you dry while still enjoying the outdoors. Without the rainfly, there are 2 mesh walls and 2 large D-shaped doors that provide excellent ventilation. There's even a couple of mesh windows on either side, but you can only open them from the outside, which makes it very inconvenient to get some extra breeze. There's also a great footprint that sticks out at the entrance where you can lay some gear or your shoes. The full coverage rainfly will keep out any water in bad weather but can also stifle any air circulation if it's a warmer day. Luckily, the vestibule can transform into a porch by propping up the door cover with some poles. Inside there are mesh organizational pockets and a hanging hook at the ceiling you can place a lantern or camping fan. The Kazoo is a perfect choice for the camper that needs a 4-person tent that provides full coverage from wet weather but can still open up to the outdoors. At number 2. Coleman Sundome Tent. Coleman is no stranger to producing high-quality outdoor products, and the Sundome tent provides all the necessary features to have a comfortable time outdoors. There's a large D-shaped door that makes it easy to enter and exit, and the 2 mesh windows and 2 mesh half-walls provide good ventilation with the rain fly off. And the floor vent on the back wall helps a ton with circulating air from the bottom to the top of the tent. There's also an electrical access port you can use to pull an extension cord through for electricity inside. The rainfly covers the top portion of the tent and extends over all the windows so you can leave them open without any water leaking through. I would be cautious taking this 4-person tent outdoors if you are going to face some really bad weather because it will have a hard time holding up. But setup should only take around 10 minutes, but will take even less time with someone from your group helping out. The Coleman Sundome tent is a fantastic price and will be a great tent to take camping as long as the weather isn't too bad. At number 3. ALPS Mountaineering Lynx 4-person tent. The main difference between the Lynx and the Taurus is that this model comes with aluminum poles, which will be lighter and easier to haul around. But that's not the only difference. You also get larger mesh ceiling wall panels that creates better air circulation, especially with the full coverage rainfly. You get 2 large doors that include a small mesh window you can leave open. The rainfly itself creates a couple of vestibules that will come in handy to store extra gear or keep open to stay protected from the rain while still getting some nature. There's a large mesh storage loft where you can keep all your items without having to bend over for them, and a smaller mesh organizational pocket attached to the wall. This is a top-of-the-line 4-person tent that will keep you protected in any weather and should be at the top of your list. At number 4. Moon Lens Pop-Up Tent. Because of the ease of setup, the Moon Lens could quickly become your go-to 4-person tent while camping in the outdoors. It only takes less than a minute to have fully built because the poles come pre-attached and the rainfly is integrated into the tent, so you don't even have to worry about setting it up. There are 2 large doors for front and back entrance, and both have half-window mesh you can open for more air circulation. The 2 floor vents on either side provide even more breeze and make up for the lack of any other windows. There's an organizational mesh pocket to place any small, more valuable items you've brought with you so that they don't end up getting lost on the ground. The Moon Lens is a nice choice if you need a quick and easy setup that is going to get the job done and provide a little protection from light rain and wind. It's also a pretty good price, and you can rely on it to continue to perform season after season. At number 5. ALPS Mountaineering Taurus 4-person Tent. The ALPS brand has produced some high-quality tents in the past, and their Taurus model had a similar design to another option on this list, except this comes with fiberglass poles, which actually makes it a little heavier and bulkier. There are very small ceiling mesh holes and side mesh holes that can't be considered windows exactly, but they do help with some air ventilation. The 2 large front and back doors do have a small mesh window on them as well. The rainfly completely covers the entire tent and has a couple of small air vents at the top. It does create a couple of vestibules that you'll be able to use to store extra gear or stay protected from the rain while still enjoying nature. Since the Rainfly has full coverage, you won't have to worry about rain or wind ruining your camping trip. Overall, the Taurus is a great 4-person tent to have and rely on to hold up during your trip, but if you want something that is less weight because of better poles, check out the Lynx model. At number 6. Ayamaya Pop-Up Tents with Vestibule. The Ayamaya Pop-Up with Vestibule is another instant setup that will only take seconds before you are ready to head inside. You can literally throw it in the air and watch as it unfolds itself into a full 4-person tent. Although I would not recommend this. There are 2 different layers to the Ayamaya and they are connected using a series of hooks. This creates some air circulation between the tent and keeps condensation down. You can use the vestibule at the front door to carry extra gear or have some extra space to stretch out. The tent is fully covered by the outer layer and includes a couple of mesh windows on either side. The problem is that you are so covered you won't be able to really open any windows if it's hot outside while raining. But what makes the Ayamaya special is that you can take it with you anywhere because it only weighs 10 pounds and is great against windy or rainy weather. At number 7. Coleman Cabin Tent with Instant Setup. Most of the options on this list are going to be considered dome tents and don't provide a lot of room for you and your camping buddies. But if you want some extra head space, then a cabin tent is going to do the trick, and since this option is already made with the reliable Coleman brand, you don't have to worry about the quality. You can set it up within 60 seconds since all the poles are pre-attached and the gigantic mesh doors and windows create great ventilation. Not to mention the entire ceiling is made with mesh. There's even an organizational mesh pocket you can use to store valuable items you don't want to get lost. One of the biggest disadvantages this Coleman has over other options is that it doesn't come with any actual Rainfly. It says it is integrated, but it's not going to be nearly enough protection in rainy weather. So if you are looking for a more spacious 4-person tent with an incredibly easy setup that will perform well in fair weather, the Coleman cabin is a top choice. At number 8. ALPS Mountaineering Camp Creek 4-person tent. With already 2 other ALPS 4-person tents on this list, what sets the Mountaineering Camp Creek apart is the very large and roomy cabin tent design. Standing at a towering 7-inch tall in the center, there is no reason you and your camping group should have any complaints about not having enough headspace or room for gear. The large D-shaped front door is almost as tall and fills up an entire wall, which makes entering and exit easy. The large mesh ceiling and 4 total mesh windows provides enough air circulation to stay cool even in humid, muggy days. There's also an included Rainfly that extends way past the front door and over the windows so that you can leave the windows open without worrying about water leaking in and soaking your gear. The only flaws on this large and spacious 4-person tent is that the zippers are not always of the highest quality and the poles are made out of fiberglass instead of aluminum. Otherwise, this is the perfect camping tent for a small group who likes to have some extra headroom and appreciates protection from rain while still providing air circulation. At number 9. Coleman Dome Tent with Screen Room. All of the options on this list are exclusively for 4-person tents, but what you will find is that if you are actually bringing 4 people along with you, that it's not going to feel very comfortable inside. Especially if you have any gear at all. So the Coleman Dome Tent with Screen Room is large enough to fit 6 people and even comes with a large mesh-covered screen room where you can set up a couple of camping chairs and hang out bug-free. You have a large D-shaped door behind the screen, so you could even leave it wide open and still be protected from insects. You also get a couple of mesh windows, so you should have no issues catching a nice breeze while inside. There's also an included Rainfly that covers all windows and extends past the door, so you can leave them open while still being protected from any leaks. What isn't so great about the Rainfly is that it does nothing to protect the screened-in area, and you will likely get a pool of water when it rains. But if you plan on doing some summer or fair weather camping, there is no other choice that will keep you as comfortable as the Coleman.